Psalm 78 verses 3-4, 23-25, and 54. The Lord gave them bread from heaven, what we have heard, and know, and what our fathers have declared to us, we will declare to the generations to come, the glorious deeds of the Lord, and his strength and the wonders that he wrought. He commanded the skies above and opened the doors of heaven. He rained manna upon them for food and gave them heavenly bread. Man ate the bread of angels, food he sent them in abundance. And he brought them to his holy land, to the mountains his right hand had won. When this psalm was distributed, most of the worshippers would have been illiterate, but one of the illiterate gifts is to have excellent memories. The psalmist says that he will speak in parables, which are usually short fictitious stories to illustrate a moral attitude or a religious principle. Such stories are remembered by both the literate and illiterate, and can be easily repeated. When repeated, others are exposed to a moral attitude or a religious principle. Religious education is the responsibility of the older generation to pass on things heard, known, and told to them by their ancestors. The phrase "we recite them to the next generation" is another way of saying parables, symbolic stories, illustrations were passed on from generation to generation. The older generation needs to plant and develop the seeds of religious thought in the younger generation, so that the seeds may develop and grow to religious maturity. This reading tells us how God took the Israelites from the slavery and tyranny of Egypt into the land that would provide them with freedom and self-government. This was done despite the people's arrogance and lack of understanding. Even though the people's actions turned previous gifts into something harmful, God always punished them with mercy, and always found a way to forgive them. We too can find God performing these same actions in our lives. When we live life in a way God wants us to live, we typically live in peace. When we break His law, sooner or later a correcting judgment will be given to us, so that we can see the errors of our way. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it does enlarge the future. Paul Louis Boussy.